Our research team had looked at the network country strategy, global Korean industries from the perspective of population and Korean immigration policies as a way to diagnose the today and look for future strategy. When the wave of change blows, someone builds up barriers, some others build up a windmill. Building a barrier is a passive defensive attitude, and building a windmill is an aggressive and creative response. I hope that Korea will create a windmill in the face of the global uncertain orders and rapid changes. In this crisis of population decline in the shrinking society, how can we make an open-minded and aggressive response? The beginning of the National Future Strategy begins from our perspective towards the world. Korea is no longer a middle-sized country on the periphery of East Asia. For the past 20 years, Korea has rapidly grew into a powerful nation. We have to set our identity and goals, and we propose the establishment of Global Korea 2040, which is our long-term global vision and strategy. From Korean perspective, we need to set a goal to become one of the world's top-class countries by 2040. In order to implement Global Korea 2040, we would like to propose 5 policy ideas. First of all, in order to ensure economic prosperity of Korea, we have to establish multi-hub strategy driven by Korea. The preliminary hub will be Korea as the headquarters of planning, R&D, and design. We have to strengthen our network of alliance with our alliances and neighboring countries for advanced technologies. And the hub will be Korea, and centered around Korea, we have to work with the production hubs and trade and logistics hubs, including the Southeast Asia, Southwest Asia, Latin America, East Africa, East Europe, as well as with our economic partners like the US and China. So we have to form a relationship between Korea and other countries, just like in the form of a hub and its spokes. And world-class tech companies will further develop the innovative industries of Korea, and by utilizing the production base across the world, we can establish a stable supply network. And Korea needs to establish global talent supply system. For this purpose, I would like to propose that we establish Human Resources Office in the potential Ministry of Population Strategy and Planning in Korea. As presented before, the most important competition in the global network will be the competition over talents. And Korea has enhanced its status in the world as the attraction point of global talents, but still we are at a lower level compared to other Western countries in terms of the attractiveness to the global talents. So we have to begin the establishment of Human Resources Office under the Ministry of Population Strategy Planning. If the launch of the Ministry of Population Strategy Planning becomes postponed, then the Prime Minister's office needs to take the initiative to create Global Human Resource Task Force team, and it requires the participation from other departments, including the Ministry of Science and ICT, the Ministry of Education, and Ministry of Finance and Economy as well. And thirdly, we have to establish future strategy for SMEs. When we discuss world-class network of powerful nations, that discussion is often centered around large companies, but we have to remember the importance of SMEs, structural reform of SMEs, because SMEs are the cradle of employment for 80% of Korean employees, and they support the competitiveness of large companies. And we should prevent the general manufacturing companies from losing their vibrance affected by the demographic changes and industrial development directions. We have to take measures to change the future of general manufacturing companies into a more optimistic one. So I'd like to ask the Korean government to establish a strategy to respond to the future of SMEs in the manufacturing sector. SMEs have less resource compared to large companies in their efforts to prepare future strategies. And we have to help them predict the future and prepare themselves. And many SME manufacturing companies have lower competitiveness in the global market. If any of them would like to exit the market in an orderly way, we need to provide them with the necessary information about the workforce and domestic market. We also have to set a plan for low-skilled foreign workforce supply and demand plan and share it with our companies. We will also have to estimate how much the domestic market will change, what kind of changes will there be for our companies. Although many manufacturing companies are small-sized, many of them are becoming the subcontractors of the companies that lead the global value chain, and we shouldn't just let them shut down their business. We need to enhance their innovation and scarcity. And firstly, we have to adopt labor permit system as a way to enable foreign workforce to be integrated into our society and stay in our society for a longer period of time. We have to enhance the irrational and inefficient qualification criteria for foreign workforce. The existing employment permit system has limits because the qualifications to stay in Korea for foreign workforce depends on the employer during the period when they are hired by a certain employer, and they don't have enough choice of changing their workplaces. And many of them have to face the lower wage and lower treatment. So we need to turn the existing employment permit system into labor permit system. Fifthly, we have to prepare a multifaceted settlement support system for foreign workforce. So we should have a wider view, wider perspective on foreign workforce so that they could settle better in Korea regarding their use of language, residence, children's education, and so on. For example, foreigners living in Korea find it very difficult to get a large amount of loan or creating credit cards in Korea. They also find a lot of challenges in terms of educating their children. We need to enable foreign workforce and their families to enhance their quality of life in Korea. Let's go back to the beginning of my presentation. We are faced with the reality of a shrinking society. So far, government implemented policies which have not been effective. We have to admit that we need a drastic change. We have to move beyond the existing frame and prepare ourselves better for the future of a shrinking society. Now, we have to walk a long way with uncertainties, and we need to have courage and wisdom. We need to become more active and creative. The 5 policies I propose today, I hope they will become the stepping stone for the more knowledge that will help us design and discuss the future of Korea, and that will help us become a more attractive nation. Thank you very much for your attention.